communication between users of this blockchain would be inextricably linked to their accounts, so you'd have perfect auditability and a sort of longevity and sort of a perpetuity of content on the blockchain. And as we got down this rabbit hole, realizing there needed to be a forum, we realized that you could do a lot of other cool things, and you could start to build a social network that could flip the model on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. The incumbents that are taking our time, energy, creativity, and attention and turning that into profits for their shareholders. So the light bulb kind of went off for us, and back to the whole idea of incentives, sort of driving these blockchain systems, we realized that you could actually take a token system on a blockchain and with the right algorithms, have a sort of subjective proof of work, as we might call it, where the tokens are actually allocated to posters and voters, this sort of basic functionality of social media and social networking. So for the first time, there was going to be the potential to pay people to participate in a social network. So we sort of shifted from insurance to thinking, people are giving away all their time. How can we use a blockchain to flip that model to sort of beat Facebook and start to get everyone their value back? You think about everyone in this room spending hours and hours online, contributing our value to these private companies. Can we flip that? Can we use the blockchain to get everyone, the value back for their time? So we created this blockchain. We had this idea back in January, and through the process of leveraging other open source technologies, we were able to take this idea in January and turn it into a mainnet blockchain by the end of March. And it was launched, it was mined into existence by the public. We then built our web interface, steemit.com, to plug into the blockchain. And in July, the blockchain started finally paying out rewards to people who were blogging and commenting and participating in this social network. And from July onward, we saw more than 100,000 people sign up. We've seen tens of thousands of visitors to the website per week and hundreds of thousands per month. There have been celebrities on the site, there have been AMAs. We have a terrific male to female ratio on the website, something that I don't think any other crypto project has really achieved. Actually, the ratio in this room is pretty good, but some other conferences I've been to have had like 90-10 ratio male to female. So what is it that I'm really talking about? So what we have here is a screen capture of steemit.com there on the left. You've got your header there, your banner, and then below that you see a couple articles. It kind of looks like Reddit. So what this interface is doing is it's actually pulling all of this data, all this post information, all the account information directly from the blockchain. So you have this sort of public database, which is the antithesis of what Facebook and Twitter are providing. They have a walled garden in front of their data. But here with Steem, with a blockchain-based social network, you have data that's available to the public. So next to steemit.com, which is on the left, you have these other 4 applications there. And that's just a small sample of the number of applications that have been built on top of Steem. Because of the openness of the data, we have seen entrepreneur after entrepreneur and developer show up to this platform to build applications. There have been more than 95 applications built on Steem since the beginning of July. How many people here have been to steemit.com? Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So you guys have been there, you've participated, you've voted, you've maybe commented or something like that. Every time you take an action on the website, that action is going directly to the blockchain. This is a blockchain that is real time. It's interactive. It's keeping up with you. And that's very, very important. For a long time, people have been saying, what's the point of blockchain? These things are, really lethargic databases. They're slow. Why would you ever use them for an application? But through the process of creating blockchains over the last few years, we've actually created technology that solves the Byzantine generals problem, the double spend attack, and is also functional enough to support a real-time social network. So what we're talking about with Steem is real-time speed, 3-second blocks, that's 1.5 seconds per transaction on average. We're seeing scalability that's tested easily into the thousands of transactions per second. And if we think about what we're up against, Reddit or Twitter, well, Reddit supports or really experiences about 500 transactions per second. So we're sitting on top of a blockchain that can handle that. The consensus mechanism here that helps us achieve these speeds and scalability is called delegated proof of stake. And that's a consensus model that involves elected witnesses, but we've also incorporated the element of proof of work, which is an aspect of consensus models that some people in this room probably really appreciate, and our users do too. Another interesting aspect of this blockchain is that all the content, all the data is stored directly on the blockchain. So getting back to what I said before about all these applications being built on the chain, the reason they're able to really do that and make use of it is because it's so easy for them to pull the data, to pull the information from the database. Some other innovations that we've brought to this platform are financial. And what you see here on the left of the screen here is a page within Steem.com. This is the wallet page. So everyone has a Bitcoin wallet somewhere. Maybe it's a downloaded client, maybe it's a web wallet. What you have here with Steem is a web wallet for Steem. And you can transfer Steem in and out. Steem.com does not hold your private keys. All the key management is done on the user side. But we've incorporated some other elements into this blockchain to help facilitate the use of the token, to kind of give it utility. One particular mechanism that does that is called Steem Power. And it's the idea that you can take a cryptocurrency and you can wrap a smart contract around it to sort of lock it up for a period of time. And once you do that, then the user who holds that Steem Power can have influence over the website. So the more Steem Power someone holds, the more influence they have over the sorting and ranking of the content and over the budget. So one of the things that makes Steem compelling is this idea that there's this budget, this sort of subjective proof of work that's going on. There's a budget of Steem created through that process that must be distributed to bloggers. So the more Steem Power a user holds, the more they can control this fire hose of a budget and direct it at the authors and at the blog posts that they appreciate. So here in the wallet, people can kind of manage that for themselves. There's also the element of Steem dollars, and I've heard in passing today, some people have been talking about the stability problem with digital assets. And that was another problem we set out to solve with this project. The idea that you could have a Bitcoin-like asset, all the transferability and fungibility of Bitcoin, with stability of something like the US dollar, could potentially be compelling to certain groups of people in the world. I mean, if you think about the dark markets, the black markets for US dollars in some places of South America, where sometimes dollars trade at $1.10, there could potentially be some compelling use cases here for that. So the way Steem dollars work is they get distributed to posters and voters as they get their upvotes and are appreciated by the community. One last aspect of Steem that I want to kind of dig into is, I don't know if you guys have heard about the potential for what some are calling the attention economy in cryptocurrency. What we've discovered through Steem is the possibility of bringing value to a cryptocurrency in a way that is outside